Alright ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another Hero House Reviews. Today we're looking at Storm Collectibles Lobo from Injustice Gods Among Us, which means he's got sort of a design based on his appearance in the video game, not necessarily the comics, but I think that design is close enough to the comics that if that's what you like him from, you'll still be pleased. It does mean he's a bit big. I mean, Storm Collectibles figures are big anyway, but this guy is huge. I mean, here's Marvel Legends Rogue. As you can see, she is tiny compared to him. I mean, he's freaking enormous. The Muppet Swedish Chef only comes up to there. 7-inch tall Terminator only comes up to there. So he's not in 6-inch scale by any means, but for me, this is okay because I picture in my head a Lobo being a huge dude. I mean, in the comics, he's not portrayed as being super huge, or it does vary, as artwork does in comic books, but he's meant to be just sort of a tall, normal-sized humanoid, not absolutely giant. But in terms of the sheer gravitas of his character, being huge is appropriate, so I'm okay with that. Now, as for articulation, he is Storm Collectibles, sorry. So he is fairly well articulated, if you go with the arm. Do we get to... Yeah, we get to 90. Bicep swivel, and a butterfly joint. His elbow is double jointed. The spikes on this gauntlet will hamper that a little bit, yeah, so you can only get to 90. Ooh, less than 90, that ain't good. This is a softer plastic though, so it doesn't hamper it too much. His wrist, full rotation, one of their pegs. And then he's got a diaphragm joint, quite a good one, in fact a very good one. And a swivel at the waist. Yep, waist, as always, is made of a softer material. Well, sorry, not the waist, the chest. And so is his vest. Ugh. This chain is a real length of chain, which is very, very cool. The hook is not actual metal, unfortunately. But that is. You can clasp the hook onto it and connect it, which is very, very cool. Nice little accessory. Good to see him come with it. His leg articulation. You can pretty much get the splits. Why you'd want Lobo to be doing the splits, I'm not really sure. He's not a splits kind of guy. And you've got some good swivel there. That's where most of the swivel comes from with the leg. He doesn't have shin swivel because of the design of his boots, but the sculpt on his boots is very well detailed and very cool, as you can see. So we'll swing it back around. On the back, he's got a really very nicely done gun. The holster, unfortunately, is a soft plastic, so as you try and put the gun in there, it's a bit wobbly, it sort of hangs weird, and you're kind of stressed you're going to break it, but once you do get it in, it kind of sits nicely, but I'd still wish it was a bit firmer. The jacket looks great, bite me fanboy, very well sculpted, excellently done. The hair is very nice, as is the face, the sort of makeup and snarl. I'll move that back so you can see. Yeah, it's a very good Lobo face. The face he comes on in the package, which is sort of more neutral and just inexpressive, is not that good. Like, the hair that's swept forward doesn't really suit Lobo, and it obscures the face too much, so that's a bit of a bummer. And in terms of the sculpt, so a bit big, as I said, great musculature for the upper body, but his hips, he has such wide hips. I don't know if you can see that, but no one's hips come out that much further than their waist. So it's quite ugly and distracting, and a bit of a shame because it really detracts from the figure. Especially, he is not cheap, this guy. And I mean, he's big, but he's also not super accessorized. I mean, in terms of accessories, you get the shotgun and the hook, and then the extra head and hands. So his accessories are not even close to Axel or Terry, who are cheaper figures, and he's not that much bigger than them, so his size isn't justifying the cost. So yeah, where do I rate this guy? I mean, I do like him. He's gonna look phenomenal on your shelf. He's a massive attention grabber. He's a character that you like, well, most people do like, because who doesn't like Lobo? I didn't show you feet articulation. Very little pivot down, essentially no pivot up, and he's got big old plates there that seem to be preventing his toe hinge from working, so he's barely got, yeah, no toe, well, ankle, yeah, toe joint. Sorry, I am tired today. Well, that is disappointing. So, articulation's not great. Aesthetically, he's good, but he's not perfect. And he's quite expensive, and he's not greatly accessorized. So, this is a cool Lobo. It's not the definitive Lobo, I think, and especially not, like, in terms of value for money. So, I can only give this a 3.5 out of 5. Still a really solid figure. If you do like Lobo and you get him, I imagine you're going to be pleased to have him in your display. But, you know, if you can get a cheaper one down the line and you're happy with that, go for it. I wouldn't say this is a must-buy. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Let's dive into the pictures and wrap this up. One. Storm Collectibles Injustice Lobo. A solid figure, but for the price he has too many flaws to get that perfect score. His articulation is not great, and the hips are too wide. The thing that holds his gun is just a bit too weak for my taste. One of the heads is very subdued, but then he has a lot of character with the cigar-chomping head and the snarling face. They're very well done. And, you know, you get the bevy of hands and the hook and the chain and everything, so he's got some accessories, but again, not enough to justify the cost. So yeah, just gonna have to settle for a 3.5. Still a good figure, but too pricey. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap this up there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, we have plenty of more content that is frequently updated. We've got the reviews, we've got figure fights, we've got Hero House, we've got the Wreckers, ranking lists, and top 10 lists. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thanks for your time, and all the best. Bye.